All right, for more on the situation in the Middle East, let's bring in Stephen Cook, Senior Fellow for Middle East and Africa Studies with the Council on Foreign Relations. Stephen, good to be with you today. A lot to unpack here. But first, let's start with that conversation between President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu. While the White House says that its support of Israel is ironclad, it also said that there needs to be some policy changes. So, Stephen, what does the White House want from Israel? And is our support for our ally, is it now based on conditions?
Well, I think it's clear that what the White House means by policy changes is that the Israelis be more forthcoming on the delivery of humanitarian aid to Gazans in need, which are virtually all Gazans. The Israelis are notorious for holding up aid, very, very difficult inspections of trucks going into the Gaza Strip. And this has created a very, very tenuous and dangerous situation for the Palestinian population that is caught in the crossfire between the Israel Defense Forces and Hamas. The administration clearly is frustrated and wants to see more humanitarian aid get through. That is essentially the condition on which further American assistance will be based.
This seems like this is sort of the first of its kind between our two countries, is it?
It's not. There is a mythology about, a special relationship, an unbreakable bond that suggests that the two countries have always stood shoulder to shoulder. But there have been very significant periods of tension between the two governments. President Ronald Reagan, who's remembered as a great friend of Israel, in fact, stopped the delivery of F-16 fighter planes to Israel during the 1982 war in Lebanon over Israel's siege of the Lebanese capital, Beirut. There are other instances in which the United States has made clear to the Israelis that they seek a policy change, most famous of which is Secretary of State Henry Kissinger's threat in 1974 to reassess the U.S.-Israel relationship, of which President Biden's statements today have some echoes. So overall, however, I think at an institutional level, security cooperation, defense cooperation, the relationship remains quite strong. Although this situation, the war in the Gaza Strip, and the inability of the Biden White House to influence the direction of Israel's military operations has clearly frustrated President Biden, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing.
Yes, Stephen, I want to talk now about that airstrike earlier this week in Syria that killed 7 Iranian officials, including a top commander in Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard. Iran, as you know, vowed to strike back, and its president said today that Israel would pay a heavy price for the attack. How concerning is this threat from Iran, and could we be looking at a much wider war in the Middle East, and possibly one that the U.S. could be dragged into?
Well, the war has already widened. There has been violence between Israel and Hezbollah since almost the beginning. The Houthis of Yemen have been firing on Israel from there. The Iraqi and Syrian militias have been doing the same. This is the airstrike on the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps generals carries a very significant escalation risk. Of course, you have to understand that they are in Damascus specifically to help target Israel in this widening conflict. And the Israelis have vowed to go anywhere to ensure the safety and security of their country. I think the threats coming from Iran have to be taken seriously. Israel is on full alert this evening and throughout. The ultimate decision maker in Tehran is the Ayatollah. I think it's likely that we will see retaliation from Iran's proxies. Perhaps Hezbollah will increase its rocket fire on Israel. The same thing of the Houthis. The Iranians like to hide behind these proxy groups rather than take on Israel or the United States directly. And of course, given the American commitment, informal albeit, to Israel's security, a direct Iranian attack on Israel could very well bring in the United States, something that the Iranians would very much like to avoid.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see what will happen. Stephen, thank you so much for coming on and for your insights. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.